and today we're looking at how to paint Necrons quickly and efficiently. So first off, what you want to do is you want to prime them using Chaos Black. We're then getting our airbrush out, and to really speed up the process we're using bright bronze from Vallejo. After we've done the bronze, we're doing a Reichland flesh shade all over the model, followed by Necron compound dry brush, and we're specifically dry brushing that onto the joints and any of the like their spines and any of the other areas that you think might need a bit of like weathering, so to speak. So in this instance, yeah, we've done a bit on the face and we've done a bit on the shoulders as well, just to give it a more of a weathered look, so to speak. After that, to bring the bronze back up, we'll use the same colour, bright bronze, and we're using a large dry brush and just dry brushing all over the model just to bring that bronze back up. So now we're working on the black, and that will be for most of our models. We're going to be using the Baden black on the weapons, a couple of wires here and there, I believe on their chest as well. So yeah, here you can see what areas we've done black on the Necron warrior. So yeah, here we're just looking at the whole range that we've just done, and it gives you an idea roughly where we've used black. That's sort of really one of the more harder options for me personally to do anyway, but once that's done, that's a big chunk out of the way then. So now we're moving on to doing the green, and this is going to make the models really pop now. And in this instance, we're using dark green from Vallejo, and we're just putting that on the wire as well as the main bit of the gun that's meant to glow green. Try not to get it on any of the bronze, but if you do, all you have to do is just use your bright bronze again and just dry brush on the area that you got the green on. But on some areas it might even look good, as you sort of get like a glowy effect from it. So it's up to you what way you want to go about doing that, whether you want to touch it up or whether you just want to keep it dark green sort of thing. So the next colour that we're going to be using in this green palette of colours is going to be pale green. So we're trying to leave some of the dark green that we had earlier, and we're just leaving that area darker, and so we're working more towards the middle. We want to be covering about 80% of the rod now, just leaving the dark green on the sides. After we've done that, we're moving on to Escopenna green, and once again we're leaving the previous colour, so to speak, so you can still see the pale green, and we're working more towards the middle with the Escopenna green. And for our final highlight of the green, we're using light livery green, and I think it really makes the green look awesome. For the rocks, which there's a lot of in this case, we're using sea grey from Vallejo. And yeah, once again, you can use just an airbrush for this, or a brush, whatever you find easier. I find it a lot quicker to use an airbrush. It just gets the job done much quicker. It means you're not really faffing around with a brush. You can get a really nice effect. So here I'm just using lead belcher, and there's a couple of silver bits and bobs that you need to apply. Once again, you can have a look on the Games Workshop website just to have a look where you need to apply some of the silver areas. I had some Astra granite lying around, and I thought, why not use it? I've got the pot, it's a shame for it to go to waste, so I thought, let's do it, let's use some Astra granite. So here you can see the full result after we've done the basing on those models. I do usually prefer to use the sand, but in this case I think it turned out quite well. So for the eyes, we're using a paint from Games Workshop, and that is Warpstone Glow. That's the first colour that we're going to be using. And after we've done that, we're using a highlight of Moot Green or Escopenna Green, whichever you have to hand. For the bases, we've shaded them with Null Oil, and then we did a dry brush of Terminatus Stone. So yeah, that's pretty much the stage that we're on at the moment. So I think one of the final stages is to basically put the tufts on, and we're just using a little bit of PVA for that. I've also had some crystals from back in the day just lying around and gathering dust, so I thought, well, got to use those, why not? They're just far too nice to not use them. And here I'm putting some PVA on the base and just putting a bit of flock for variety's sake. You don't want these models looking, you know, bland, so yeah, you might as well, if you have the flock at home, use it. You know, it adds a bit of variety to your bases, and you know what they say, people look at faces and bases mostly, so that's definitely the way to go. You don't have to use the colours that I've used, well, the flock that I've used. You can use different coloured flock. Perhaps green would look quite well as well, actually. On Astro Granite tends to look quite well as well, but in my instance I've used like a sort of a dead grass sort of thing. So here now we're using Waywatcher Green. If you don't have Waywatcher Green from back in the day, your alternative is to get a Athonian camo shade, thin it down, and just put it in all the recesses of our gun. It will make the gun look a lot more real, and you know, in the recess areas you'll make it look like it's a lot darker. So on the silver parts, we're going back to Necron Compound again, and just to bring up those dark area, the dark areas that we've done earlier, we're using Necron Compound, yeah, just to bring it back up again. So yeah, that was a really quick guide on how to paint Necrons. You can get this force out quite quickly. It didn't take me too long to do. I think it took about 5 or 6 days to do, so you can, you know, bash out an army quite quickly. Yeah, Necrons are quite a simple army to do, so if you're looking to get into 40k quickly, they're definitely a force that you can go for. So thank you very much for watching, really appreciate your time. I would really appreciate a subscribe if you could, that would be fantastic. Gives me you know, a bit of hope that the channel will grow and that I can produce more and more videos for you guys. Thank you, and see you in the next video.